our roads and our small communities are the most valuable asset we have.
Welcome to Access Appalachia, where we explore the places, the people, and the work behind the Appalachian outdoor economy. I'm Ben Eisenberg, and here with me, as always, is my buddy and co-host, Clay Elkins.
Hey, everybody. Today, we're talking about a rapidly growing part of the outdoor economy, and one that I have really enjoyed, overlanding, off-roading, and the people mapping out how you actually get to the best roads in the region.
Our guest today has been doing exactly that, building out the roots, the community, and the economic case for motorsports tourism across Appalachia. So, buddy, it is finally nice out. Spring feeling. You know, my wife's had me doing chores, but I'm ready to do something else fun.
I think they talked about getting on the river this weekend, possibly.
That's what I was going to ask. You know, I mean, usually when my wife says she's like your wife and they want to do something, then we're in, which is usually nothing bad comes. But yeah, I'm up. What do you want to hit? You got a route in mind you're thinking?
Right now, I mean, I think I'm going to stick with playing it safe, which is what Caldwell about Ronsevert.
Well, it's flowing pretty well right now, right? So,
yeah. So, but maybe we need to call in our old buddy Louie and say, hey, let's float and take out at his place and see if there's a cold brewski waiting on us.
I like that idea too, man. So, yeah, let's talk and let's get it planned. And I'm actually Saturday, I'm going to head down to Kentucky, which actually is a good lead into our call today. I don't think you met EB. EB is one of the owners of their property where we do Healing Appalachia, but he's also the owner of Rush Off-Road, and which is a 7,000 acre ATV park down right outside Ashland. Jeez. And they've got the anniversary bash with the National Rock Racing Association 2026 event, which I have no idea exactly what it's going to be about. We were there on his property. It's one of the ones where they're driving crazy ATVs and side by sides and stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to take Jax and his buddy Levi down there. You want to go, or you got honeydew on Saturday?
I would like to go, but alas, my job that actually pays me has me doing something.
Maybe somebody someday will want to sponsor these podcasts and we'll be all right. Then we could do more fun, but until that happens. But I think that's it. Yeah. So let's do the river, and I'm going to go check out this ATV competition event, and that's kind of a good transition. Let's go with our guest. What do you think?
I like it. Let's do it. Let's get Jed on the line.
Let's do it. Our guest today works across two connected organizations, Backroads of Appalachia and the Appalachian Overland Triangle. Together, they've mapped more than 4,500 miles of routes across the region, put together a calendar of events, and are actively working to connect riders, drivers, and overlanders to the community along the way.
Jed Smith is the Director of Operations for Backroads of Appalachia and a project manager for AOT. He's on the ground in West Virginia, building out what this looks like for our corner of the region. Jed, welcome to Access Appalachia.
It's an honor to be here with you guys, truly.
I don't know. I think it's more our honor, but we appreciate you getting together with us knuckleheads, man. So let's jump into it, man. First off, where are you from? But also, where are you right now? Because you got a cool backdrop behind you.
Yeah,
so the whole backdrop.
I grew up in Monroe County, West Virginia, and currently reside in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, just outside of Lewisburg, in a small town called Crawley. And currently I am in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky.
Ooh. All right. It's a good looking lodge you're at there. Where is it?
So this is Cliffview Resort, right here in the heart of the Red River Gorge. It's actually their presidential suite cabin thing. So we're down here doing some filming for several different entities, and we were well taken care of. So big shout out to Cliffview and Ian Tell and all those folks.
Several different entities. I mean, you're clothed through all of these, right?
Say that again.
You've got your clothes on through all of these filmings, right?
Well, there was this one part that I was in my Speedo, so
that's all good. To each their own. We don't judge.
Go ahead. So Clay, we got a chance to go to Red River Gorge last year, right? Man, I had a great time.
I got this hat there. It's my go-to hat right now, and I think it really may the forest be with you.
We did. We went down and kayaked in that old limestone quarry underground.
I'll be there tomorrow.
That
It was
place
pretty
was
sweet.
cool, man. Yeah, we spent maybe a couple days there with our wives. Went and we brought the campers and hiked around, and we had a blast. So, man, have a good time. We're gonna have to come and check you out down there. But yeah, tell us, what's your thing, man? What are you into? What do you like out? What do you do when you're outdoors? What's your whole vibe?
Sure. Yeah, man. So I grew up in the woods. Growing up in Monroe County, it was a no stoplight or no stop signal county, whatsoever. Wasn't a lot to do but be outside and, work on a farm or, twist the throttle on a motorcycle or go hike in the woods or hunt or fish. And I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to live out, in the country and have some acreage and access to acreage to be able to go out and explore the world. Both my parents, they were very avid adventurers. I've said in the past on other podcasts that they were both off-roaders, but really they were just adventurers at heart. They just wanted to be outside and be in the woods. It didn't matter to them whether they was in a canoe or behind the wheel of a Toyota Land Cruiser. They were happy as long as they were in the woods.
Nice.
I was very fortunate to, be included in all of that. My parents, they weren't the kind that, sent me off to grandpa on the weekend. I was with them every step of the way, and had a really amazing childhood growing up, and just, fell in love with the outdoors and gravitated more towards the motorized side of the house, but also have a mountain bike myself. Granted, I'm a little fluffier than you guys, so I kind of stick to the gravel roads these days, not so much the hardcore stuff. But yeah, man, I just love Appalachia. I love our people. I love the opportunities that we have here throughout the outdoor economy and all the things that it just provides, experiential wise to myself personally and the others from the outside and even people that live here. So, as I got older, I kind of got into the competitive side of riding and driving. Always had an interest in racing motocross and stuff. Had a motocross track in my front yard when I was a kid.
Nice. Not everybody can say that.
Yeah, my dad, he owned his own business, and he ran heavy equipment and stuff. And I grew up running heavy equipment, and had the opportunity to basically get in whatever piece of equipment I wanted to get in and push dirt. And so I was able to build a huge motocross track, and I even had freestyle jumps and stuff. Stuff that you'd see in like Metal Militia videos I had in my front yard as a kid. And it's crazy because now I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I would have had a good camera back then. But, we had crappy Motorola Razor phones, with like a 1 meg camera on it. But anyway, yeah. And then after I graduated high school and stuff, I joined the military while I was in high school and did that for a bit and had a good time there. Learned a lot about.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you. And had the opportunity there to drive a lot of different things. And probably one of the coolest experiences I had, I got attached to 10th Group Special Forces for a train-up that they were doing up in Kingwood, West Virginia. And getting to see the stuff that they got to play with as far as like off-road vehicles and like all the gadgetry and stuff. I was like, man, this is so rad. And then like they were showing me all their cool high-speed like outdoor research stuff that wasn't even on the market yet, and like really high-end Patagonia stuff. I'm like, man, this is so cool. Like, because the things I was exposed to as a kid were like from Walmart, it wasn't high-end stuff. And so I kind of have become a gear snob. But it's
love it.
It's part of the journey. We learn different things, and I've been very fortunate to be exposed to a lot of various things throughout my various careers I've had. I used to work in the shooting industry as a shooting instructor. I started at the Greenbrier Resort, then went to the Homestead Resort. Then I went and was a firearms instructor in Roanoke for a bit, and I was an armorer, did Cerakote. That's when I met my now wife, or kind of re-met her actually, and we reconnected. And anyway, we decided we wanted to have a child, and I was like, I don't want to raise a child in Roanoke. Not hating on Roanoke, but we decided to move back here to West Virginia and raise our two sons. And that kind of afforded me the opportunity to really get back into the off-roading side of the house. I'd really focused a lot on the shooting sports for a while when I was in Roanoke, and When I came back, I was like,
you don't spend much time with the roof over your head, huh?
I don't try not to.
I like it.
Yeah, so moved back here, and I made it my number one priority. Really, I want another Jeep and I want a motorcycle again, so I could go out and play in the woods.
All right.
And
how old are your boys now?
They are now one is almost 6 and one is 7 currently. So,
oh,
6,
so
7,
they're just having.
I have to throw it in there every time.
Nice.
Yeah, yours are still the age that crack up at that. So they're having some fun with that outside these days.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like during the summer, I get to take them out on adventures and stuff. And like this past week was spring break for us here in Greenbrier County, and got to go on a couple of adventures. And it's really cool. Like, when they were younger, they hated it. They're like, "Oh, this is so boring. I'm just riding around, or I'm what are we doing?" And now they're like, "Can we go, Dad?" And excited about it. So it's pretty rad to see that transition.
That's awesome.
But kind of going back to like moving back here to West Virginia. So I got laid off during COVID actually, and about the same time I just had bought a Jeep, and I was like, man, I want to do something. Like I just had this itch, and I love to teach people and share stuff and educate people. And I was like, I want to start doing guided like off-road tours and stuff. And so I formed an LLC and did some guided stuff, and had a lot of fun with it. Didn't make a lot of money with it, but I had a lot of fun. So that was the really important part to me. And that's kind of how my now boss actually found me, was through that. He had seen me posting online and stuff. And yeah, one thing led to another. And I got a phone call one random summer. Hey, you want to come do this job? So, but yeah, it's kind of my like birth to now short story. That's the very, very much abbreviated version.
Well, that sounds awesome, Jed. So thanks for sharing with that. Well, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. I mean, tell us. Overlanding and off-roading is really its own world, and I don't know a whole lot about it. But paint us a picture of what Backroads of Appalachia actually is and what you're building.
Sure. So Backroads of Appalachia started out with a focus on sports cars, cruising motorcycles, and sports bikes. My boss Eric, his background is a lot with Harleys and sport bikes, and he had some fancy fast cars like Porsches and stuff like that, and had connections in those communities. So also in 2020, that's when Eric started Backroads of Appalachia here in Kentucky, in Lynch, Kentucky. And it was actually the perfect storm because people were looking to get outside. They were bored. They wanted to go out and explore the countryside. So we started a little visitor center in Lynch, Kentucky, with no money, and just hoped it worked out. And it ended up working out and got a bunch of traffic. And then we kind of caught the eye of some of the legislators here in Kentucky. And next thing you know, we're presenting to the Senate Committee on Tourism and Transportation. So
wow.
It's kind of funny, the things that will end up working out in life off of maybe it'll, maybe just guessing, hopefully it'll work out. But
absolutely.
So we did that for several years, and then in 2023, that's when I got summer of 2022 is when Eric called me and was like, "Hey, I might have this opportunity coming up. We'll have to see how it works out." And ended up getting some support from the state of West Virginia to be able to operate and do what we do in Kentucky and West Virginia. And one of the big things that Eric wanted me to focus on was the off-roading side of the house. He's like, "I don't want you to change anything about what you're doing. I just want to he's like, I want to give you the tools to make it better, And so I started really focusing on creating routes and improving routes that are already out there or adding to them. One of my pet projects is something called 24 Hours of Appalachia, which is a endurance overland challenge, navigation challenge. It's a whole bunch of things, but really what it is people have 24 hours to go a predetermined course and try to navigate as accurately as possible. And there's some kind of constraints and stuff and rules in there as well. You can't exceed a certain pace, so you're not speeding and things like that. But That's been really successful. Through that project, I think we've raised almost $250,000 in the last 3 seasons.
Wow.
For different charities throughout the region. We always try to partner with, smaller, not so well known charities and nonprofits.
Makes a big impact.
It's been a lot of fun. I wanted to do it just because I want to get people out in the woods, and I was like, well, let's find a good reason to, or let's find a good thing to contribute to. So that I was like, well, let's just do it as a fundraiser,
Nice.
Yeah.
So
now, I found out you and I have a mutual friend, Russ Giovante. Yeah. So Russ and I both came because the Ascend program. I've been here about 4 or 5 years now. I met him about a year or 2 ago. We were chatting, and nice, so small world. But is that a lot of what you guys were doing together? Because he was doing some tours and events and stuff as well, but and also doing some video and stuff now with you guys, or maybe together. I haven't had a chance to catch up with him lately.
Yeah. So Russ, I met Russ through the first 24 Hours of Appalachia event.
Cool.
And I didn't really talk to him a whole bunch, but I could tell, like, me and this guy have got a lot in common, and I think he hadn't started OVR just yet, his guiding and media company.
Yep.
But it wasn't too shortly after he launched that, and then he came to one of the events, and I think it was in 2024 or 5, and shot it, from a professional photography standpoint, and his content is just killer. It's amazing work, and I was like, we gotta have this guy, somehow. So he's been working with us and doing a lot of our media and video work, and we've had the opportunity to go out and watch King of the Hammers, which is in Southern California. We were there for 3 weeks, shot a bunch of content there.
So Jed, not to cut you off, but earlier you said 4,500 miles of mapped routes. That's a serious undertaking.
Yeah, is that right? Did we make that up?
So no, that is from our website. So those are all those are the routes that we created before I even was around.
Okay,
that's impressive. So what is it actually
paved? Those are like paved touring routes for sports cars and cruiser motorcycles. I think there's 1 or 2 gravel roads on there.
Gotcha.
Our unpaved routes and stuff is actually on the Appalachian Overland Triangle website. Okay. There will be more added there. We also have every 24-hour rally that we do, I have a Google Drive that I put all of those GPX and KML files into.
Oh, that's cool.
That's publicly accessible. So people can go download those too and run those. We also have a partnership with an app called Rever. So Rever is kind of like.
On. I don't want to. Sorry, I'm cutting you off again. Rever, but what you said before was an event, and events are what bring people to Appalachia. Yeah, and events are weekends, and when people come to Appalachia and come to a small community like Crawley or wherever, they spend money. So what kind of impacts have you seen from these? I mean, that's what you can talk to legislation about, I think. And those are the kinds of things that get you the funding to help you do this stuff and to keep snowballing it.
Yeah. So in 2024, that was we had a full year to actually report on in 24. And it was right at $50 million, I believe, here in West Virginia. No, I'm have that backwards. It was 50 in Kentucky and 40 in West Virginia. And then in 25, it was very similar and with some more added to that. We were down a little bit in West Virginia, again, due to lack of funding, unfortunately, but that it is what it is. It's kind of a weird political climate right now, but we still have good alliances with a lot of our legislators, and we found creative ways to be able to still have some roots in West Virginia. We actually were just awarded a grant through the Appalachian Regional Commission through their RISE program.
Nice.
The totality of that grant is $8+ million, and that specifically is to cater to overlanding and adventure travel.
Nice.
And that will be in 3 states. That's Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia.
I think that's fabulous.
Clay and I are big advocates on the whole effort throughout this region, and ARC's been part of that, and other groups of supporting small business and the impact small businesses. We're been small business owners. We're working on trails here with our nonprofit Gavorba and trying to put more trails in the Greenbrier Forest here. But how have you seen that over your years? Like, what impact do you see, especially overland and this type of activities and travelers? What impact are you seeing to a small town? They maybe not have any tourism, and then you have an event coming through. How does that work?
So, we always do an event in Hinton, West Virginia, through the 24 Hours of Appalachia series. And it's really cool. Every time we come into town, like more and more people come up to us and they're like, "Hey, like, we're so glad you're here. Like, these restaurants are slam busy. They're
Nice.
they're making money." And one of the things too that we're part of is Drift Appalachia, which is we close a short section of road down with permitting and stuff like that through the DOH, and we run drift cars on those roads.
Nice.
We always do like a community event with that, and it was like 3 years ago when we did the first one up there in Beckley, and I remember meeting this kid, and like you could tell that they were like really just super interested in cars, and like they didn't have a direction to go. That you could kind of tell maybe they were a little bit socioeconomically disadvantaged and stuff. And I was like, man, I wish I could do something, like for this person. But come like a year and a half later, the same kid came up to me and they're like, "Hey, I know you probably don't remember me, but they're like, I'm also like really excited about these cars, and I've now made it a point to get really good grades in school. I almost graduated with straight A's, and I've got my first job." He's like, "My goal in life is to buy and build a drift car."
Nice.
Economics
awesome.
aside, I could care less about economics at this point. Seeing that child, that young man, hey, I'm on the straight and narrow just because I want to be able to afford to do this. I think that's more of a win than any money in the world. So,
I mean, so you guys have been doing, you've got events, you've got people, you got visitors, you got locals working on cars on the main road with drifting, but you're also doing overland where you're backcountry away from everything. So you guys have kind of seen it all, right? So when you have an opportunity to speak or being on a platform like this, Clay and I are always working on how are we getting landowners or government officials understand what we want, why we want more trails. And so, what do you wish that people who run trails and parks in this region or areas understood about the overland community, and I guess overland community and road community, because you're kind of hitting all sides. So like, what are the things you wish they had a better knowledge of?
We'll just say motorsports in general.
Yeah, there you
go. If I could tell anybody, whether they're a legislator or a landowner or whatever, these people that buy these things, whether it's a sports car, a UTV, an adventure motorcycle, they have to have money to do it, and they want to spend their money, and they want to have a genuine adventure. And I think that the Appalachian region provides that in such a holistic and just organic way. None of these experiences are manufactured, really. They are truly wild. And I think that's what people seek out in their life, is they want to feel wild. They want to feel reconnected with the earth, in some way. And I think we have the ability to do that here at a very high level, maybe even more so than the Rockies, as we were talking about earlier. So,
absolutely more than
our mountains are older. Okay. So
and sexier. I agree.
Yeah. So, all right. So Jed, give us your West Virginia gem. A route, a stretch, one of your favorite stretches of road, a place, something in West Virginia that you think deserves more attention, something that's sort of a sleeper.
Sure. Well, I'm going to just say any unpaved road in West Virginia is a gem.
There's a few.
And there's a few of those. I actually made a graphic, and I'll try to remember to send it to you guys, and you can put it up. But anyone can look at this data, but the DOH has a really good catalog of all the unpaved roads. And it's kind of funny, when I made the graphic, you created out of a KML/shape file from GIS data, converted into a PDF, and it's so perfect. You can literally see the outline of West Virginia based off these little roads.
That's awesome.
And it's so beautiful. And there's a big hole kind of over in the Mon area, but I laughed at that because I was like, well, there's actually a lot more gravel and dirt over in that area too. It's just not on that DOH map. That's federal versus state. But our biggest asset is our roads, man. Whether you're a pedal bicyclist or a motorcyclist or driving a $250,000 Porsche GT3 on a paved road, our roads and our small communities are the most valuable asset we have. And I wish that every single town looked at their roads as assets, because a lot of people are like, oh, these roads are terrible, or they're too curvy and twisty. And I'm like, man, that's what people want.
That's the best part.
Good stuff. Like, stop being mad about it.
Exactly. That's a great one. I had never thought about that, so I appreciate that way to look at everything.
I agree. I'm coming out of DC, coming back. We hit 64, and you're on that road, and there's no one around, and you're just driving it, and you're just so happy to be just driving a car through the mountains. And then how many times are we on gravel rides on our bike? And I'm just like, I'm watching these landscapes go by. You're right. So if I'm going very slow climbing a hill on my bike or fast on the highway, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jed,
go ahead.
I got a question for you. So Clay hit you with kind of like something you love in the area. So, outside of the roads and traveling, what's something about West Virginia, the Appalachian region that surprises you that you don't think if someone came to visit you from another state, it could be food, it could be people, whatever you want it to be. Is there something that just jumps out to you that constantly, just surprises you love about the state that would surprise somebody else?
Tough one. It's honestly these little random hollows that have these really pretty flowing creeks along the roads. And there's a bunch of them, but specifically, I just did a photo shoot here. Actually, there's a road just outside of Richwood, Jetsville Road, and there's a little stream crossing, little low water crossing for vehicles. Still state right of way, and I love taking people to that spot and just sitting there. There's like a sandbar beside of the crossing, and I'll take my kids there to swim actually. And
that's great.
I just there's no cell phone service. There's a couple houses nearby, but they're quiet. And that specific spot, I don't know what it is. My soul just connects to it,
I love it.
It's that tranquility,
One of my favorite drives that I've done in the past couple of years I can remember is driving from Richwood to Marlinton. That back road through the Mon was just so memorable. So Jed, last one. If somebody's listening to this, and they want to get into motorsports in Appalachia, where do they start?
Yeah. Well, obviously it depends on what type of motorsport, because there's a lot of them out there. But, obviously I can speak a lot on the off-roading and stuff. Obviously I'm going to plug myself here, Backroads of Appalachia.org, and look at our events tab. We have events all throughout the year and all across the region. But also, just jumping on Facebook and getting in some Facebook groups and, saying, hey, I'm here. I want to go ride, because there's always people out there that want to take people out and show them the beauty that I'm speaking of right now, whether it's in West Virginia or Kentucky or wherever in Appalachia. There's also a lot of, guide companies out there that, offer some amazing tours and packages that, can really, and they do a good job of, yes, it's a somewhat manufactured experience, but they take you through places that are just as real as can be.
Yeah.
As far as an on-road, maybe let's talk about competition or something. My biggest recommendation on that end is join the SCCA, the Sports Car Club of America, or the Porsche Club if you're a Porsche person, or join National Auto Sport Association, NASA. They're always doing various events and get-togethers all throughout the region. Us personally, Backroads of Appalachia, we're part of the Appalachian Hill Climb Series, which is through the SCCA. And what that is we find a steep, twisty road, and we close it down for the day, and then we race Corvettes up it, pavement.
Nice.
And it's a good time. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity out there. People, I hear it all the time. There's nothing to do around here. And I'm like, well, you're just not looking hard enough.
Exactly.
There's plenty going on.
There's always something going on. Man, thanks. We know you're on a shoot right now in beautiful Kentucky. So thanks for taking the time.
Sure.
It was a great conversation. We appreciate what you're doing, the work you guys are doing to get riders and drivers here, and really like just making sure it gets back to the communities. That's what we love.
Yeah.
That's a whole economic or outdoor economies that we really want to push. And we know you're a busy man. Hopefully, I mean, it's funny that you live down the street from us, but we're talking to you while you're in Kentucky. So we'll have to get together, go for a ride. And really, thanks for coming on and being part of Access Appalachia with us. We appreciate it.
I'll leave you with a little saying. You know, you'd mentioned community. Our one of our taglines is "Community first, racing second."
Dig it.
So I'm gonna leave off with that.
That's a great one because it is all about the people. Links to Backroads of Appalachia and the Appalachian Overland Triangle will be on the show notes. If you ride or drive or you haven't explored what they've mapped out for this region, you're missing out. Jed, thanks a lot. Thanks so much. That was gold about Richwood.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much for the opportunity.
Go get those shots. Thanks, my man. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Cheers. You know, the whole idea behind Access Appalachia is right there in the name, helping people actually get out and experience the region. So each episode, we feature what we call an access point. Could be a trail, a business, a destination, anything that gets you out there and into it.
This week's access point is one of the crown jewels of southern West Virginia, one that we know real well, the Greenbrier River Trail. It's 80 miles of packed gravel running along the Greenbrier River through some of the most beautiful and remote country here in the state. And here's the thing, this trail's for everybody. Hikers, walkers, cyclists, backpackers. You can get in the water and tube or raft it, whatever you might want. There's multiple access points along this 80-mile stretch, small towns along the way. This is one of those places that just delivers no matter how and where you show up. So Clay, have you been out there? You know this river trail?
No, the Greenbrier River Trail, I love it. I mean, we're down in Lewisburg, and the end of the trail, if you're heading south, is in Caldwell, and so we'll get on there pretty regularly. It's pretty awesome. Just a little hike up there. You got a nice swimming hole. It's a great spot to go out and bike, walk, hike. It's really an awesome spot. I mean, we even would take the hellbenders out there and do some practices on occasion.
Some speed rides, right? You know, one of the things I noticed from hiking it and riding it is, you know, there's a lot of places to camp. And I didn't realize that when I first moved here, but, you know, you can camp along the way, you can backpack and camp, you can bike pack and camp. And if that's something that's in interest to you, our own Mike Renner just did a blog on that, talking about backpacking and how to backpack the Greenbrier Trail. So we're going to put that in the notes, check that article out, and, you know, come do a backpacking trip around here. And Clay, you know, it's getting warm. Spring and summer's coming around. And if you want to get on the water, check out River City Bikes and River Adventures. Our buddy Jerry runs that down here in Caldwell. He can hook you up with the equipment and the shuttles. So, you know, we're usually shuttling around back and forth. Jerry does that for you. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. I mean, that one time we rented, we went and visited him, but I didn't know he does some shuttles. So that's great.
He was in Roncevert, but he's over here in Caldwell now, right at the takeout. So
that's
I think it's going to be pretty fun to use him.
Ben, are you still planning on doing the big ride in July?
It is on my list. I am yet to be brave enough to do the Cass to Greenbrier, right? To the Briar Garden, I should say, is where it ends, which is 80 miles in one day?
It's approximately, that last hill going out of Caldwell into Lewisburg is the kick in the pants.
I will say I've been shamed enough by the crew that I will go. And if you're in for it, I'm in for it. So, you know, let's plan it. We'll see if we can get on there and hit all 80 miles or so. So, you know, no matter if you are looking to get on their river trail and hike it, bike it, pack it, swim it, whatever, it's a great place. Check out our site, link to Greenbrier River Trail for more. And that is our access point of the week. That's a wrap on this week's Access Appalachia. If you know someone we should be talking to, reach out. We want to hear from you.
Thanks a lot for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share it with someone who loves the region as much as we do.
Stories from the ridgelines, rivers, and backroads. This is Access Appalachia. See you next time.